Alrighty, guys, welcome back to it. Sorry for the delay. I've had internet troubles. This is Conservative Confucius. We're going to get back to it like we always do. Yeah, like I said, I had internet troubles. I tried to let you guys know. But yeah, it was just crazy. My streaming app would not record properly. It was freezing my camera. Everything was not loading. When I would get tabs up for videos, everything would just load up, and then the second I would switch to a new tab to do that one, the other one would stop loading, go back to blank, and it would not load up. So lots of issues. But yeah, so we're going to get into it. We got some important news we're going to cover today. So let's get down to it. Alrighty. Don't forget to go down there, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring that bell for all notifications, and don't forget to share this video if you like it. I appreciate you guys listening. Alrighty, let's get down to it. Sorry, my voice is a little hoarse. But yeah, we got breaking news. We had Cuban Missile Crisis on the verge of happening, basically. Modern day Cuban Missile Crisis.
Russian warships are on their way to Cuba this morning. That happened back in the 1960s, the Cuban Missile Crisis. It was just a little thing. Comes days after a warning from Vladimir Putin that Russia could provide weapons to actors that would then attack Western targets over those countries' support of Ukraine. News Nation's Robert Sherman is following that story from Washington this morning. Good morning, Robert.
Hey, good morning, Leland. It's the latest upping of the ante that's coming from Moscow here, in which you're looking at a nuclear-powered submarine and 3 warships that are set to moor in Havana. For context, it's about 100 miles away from Key West, Florida. Not the first time we've ever seen something like this happen in history, as you pointed out with the Cuban Missile Crisis. But that being said, it is significant considering the comments that have been made by Russian President Vladimir Putin here this week, in which he left the door open for the possibility of providing weapons to adversaries of NATO to strike the West after the United States said that there's a de facto green light for Ukraine to use U.S.-made weapons in order to strike targets in Russia for the sake of defending the eastern Ukrainian city of Kharkiv. Again, I mean, we've seen a lot of tough rhetoric coming from Moscow in recent months that has not led to too much in the way of tangible brinksmanship and action. But
I mean, what's going on over there in Ukraine? I mean, it doesn't seem to be getting any better. I mean, things seem to it's a continuous stalemate, and it's pretty bad, actually.
Seeing these warships heading into the Western Hemisphere for drills that are taking place in the Caribbean, U.S. officials say it is significant and it is something that they will be monitoring. Leland?
Yeah, for sure. Monitoring, to say the least. Robert, thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, over in Ukraine, speaking of Ukraine, like right now, they're basically in a stalemate for this entire section of border that Ukraine and Russia are now dealing with. It's not the actual Ukrainian border. It's in the new border of where the war is. And Ukraine hasn't gained anything. Russia's continually gained land, but for the last 4 months or so, it's been really close stalemates for most of the border conflict. And it's trench war. We're talking trench warfare, like World War II crap, or World War I more accurately. And it is bad. I mean, literally, Ukraine is to the point where they're using special needs people because they don't have anybody else. It is no bueno, Yeah, so there's nuclear-powered submarines. There's warships. These are battleships. Technically, these smaller ones. Warships are slightly larger. These are going to be more like battleship type. These things probably carry a crew of maybe 1,000 men at most. More likely around 400. But if you're looking at a full-on warship, you're looking at around a 2,000-man crew plus, another probably 50 on top for specific set jobs. Yeah. I think this is a threat, honestly. I think this is them telling us back the F off. or face the consequences. And we have such a weak president right now. I don't think he's going to be able to scare Putin back into his hole. I think that the only way that we ever fix this is if Trump was in office, this would, number one, it wouldn't have happened. Number two, if it would have happened, which it wouldn't have, let's just say it did, Trump would have been able to scare him back to Russia in less than, before he even made it to Cuba. We would have like lined an entire, naval fleet outside and surrounded Cuba and blocked them from entering. And we would have scared the crap out of them with the power we have. And that's the problem. Biden is a pussy. Sorry for my language, but he is. He has no geopolitical knowledge. Trump knew how to handle these things, not only because he's smart, but because he listened to the most intelligent people in his cabinet. Whereas Biden thinks he knows enough, yet the man is suffering from dementia. Yeah, they're saying it's just a exercise, a military exercise that's going on Cuban grounds for urban warfare, which is retarded because Cuban urban warfare is completely different than Ukrainian urban warfare. They're marching the streets. They're doing all kinds of crap. Yeah, so the Northern Fleet includes Admiral Gorshkov, Kazan, tanker Pashin, and the rescue tug Nikol. The Russian vessels passed 25 miles from the U.S. coast. Wow. Yeah, that's entering our water. Like, to me, that's entering our, our own, like, not land, but it's within our border of, like, there's international waters and then there's country waters. This is like, and you know how there's air zones, like, oh, you're entering our air zone, U.S. air zone. Okay, well, this is U.S. water zone. You're in 25 miles is far too close. You come that close to us again, we'll blow you out of the water. That's how I feel. This is ridiculous. I mean, this should have never happened. Yeah, Putin's Atlantic show of strength. The combined surface action of a Northern Fleet made up of Project M885, multi-role nuclear submarine, cruiser Kazan, frigate Admiral Gorshkov carrying out-long distance missiles, started an exercise in the use of high-precision missile weapons in the Atlantic Ocean. Just so you know, the nuclear submarine is not just nuclear-powered, it also carries nuclear warheads like many Russian submarines. So you're looking at the most dangerous fleet that could be near us. And it's an enemy fleet with the power to wipe out all of Florida with the push of a button, and they're less than 100 miles away from Florida. Crazy. If I was Ron DeSantis, I would be arming the National Guard and Coast Guard and protecting my everything. I would be making a show of strength as the governor of Florida. Even if I can't mobilize the Army or the Navy, I can mobilize the Florida National Guard and the Florida Coast Guard. I can do that. I can make a show of strength that shows we won't take your shit, Putin. That's something that needs to be done. A few days before the frigate Admiral Gorshkov, which was carrying a long-distance voyage to the waters of the Atlantic Ocean as part of a Northern Fleet detachment, conducted a training exercise to repel their attack. As a part of the exercise, crew practiced interaction of the command posts of combat in launching attacks with AK-192M naval artillery systems and Palash surface-to-air missiles and artillery system simulated air targets. Russian Navy's Cuba dare to U.S. Yeah. All 4 Russian naval warships arrived in Havana on June 12th. Yeah. Russia and Cuba will engage in a joint military exercise. They've been strengthening ties since this conflict broke out. Since the Ukraine conflict broke out, they've strengthened their ties according to what we know, at least 4 times. They've met with each other in some way or manner. They've visited each other in some way or manner 4 times to strengthen their bond. And it seems like that is going to continue, obviously, due to this. And it's not just going to continue on a low level where it's just vocal support, but military, which is when this is going to get, possibly very dangerous. Here's some of the footage taken by a civilian. Come on, load. Okay. Sorry, guys. Whatever. This works. There we go. Yeah, so this looks like the larger warship. That's just a tanker, small tanker. Maybe a tug? Maybe a large tugboat. Can't tell. Either a small tanker or a large tugboat. Looks like a small tanker. Yeah. Yeah, so this one right here, it looks like the smaller one. I can't tell if that's the same one. Let's see, hold on. 454. Okay. So it might be larger than it just looks from this area. So I think this is the larger of the two warships. Yeah. Crazy. So here's some of the news on it. I hate CNN's website. It's so ridiculous with this ridiculous bar up here. All right, there we go. All right, so yeah, Russia ships arrive in Cuba as Cold War allies strengthen their ties. Some of the footage we just saw. A group of Russian Navy ships, including a nuclear-powered submarine, arrived on Cuba on Wednesday morning as a sign of strengthening ties between the two Cold War allies. Russian frigate, yeah, we talked about this, Admiral Gorshkov, a 4-ship convoy and a 21-gun salute entered Havana Harbor, which was answered by the Cubans with a cannon fire from an 18th century colonial fort built by the Spanish. 4 Russian ships are now docked in berths usually occupied by cruise ships. It marks the largest show of force by the Russians in their long-standing ally with Cuba in many years. The U.S. assesses that the Kazan does not have nuclear weapons on board of U.S. official says, but they said there's a nuclear-powered submarine, and every nuclear-powered submarine, every submarine, period, that Russia has some level of nuclear warhead on it. So I don't care if the naval ship does. I'm pretty damn sure, like 90% sure, that submarine has it. The vessels carry out a 5-day official visit in the Caribbean island of a show of Russian force just 90 miles from Florida. Yep, see, I told you, less than 100 miles. As tensions between the U.S. and Russia over the war in Ukraine rise. Yeah, U.S. Navy monitors the exercise. Yeah, we know that's BS. We have a weak-ass president who won't do anything. This is extremely dangerous right now. Same. Yeah. See if there's anything new. Yeah, people say there is no direct threat, and see how it's even put in quotes. No direct threat. Oh my gosh, it's just lagging again, my guys. I'm sorry. Something is going on with my computer, maybe. Not the internet, I think. Something is not acting the way it should. Hopefully, on recording, this looks better, but my bad if it isn't. Yeah, so yeah, according to all this. Okay. You know what? If you can't see me on the screen right now, my camera's freeze. You know what? We'll end it with this one. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get around to do the other ones, but I really appreciate you guys, staying by watching this if you did. We're going to try to figure out what's going on with my camera or my computer. Something is going on. It doesn't seem to be my camera. Everything's fine with that. But we'll try to figure it out. Hopefully we get that all figured out and fixed up. I appreciate you guys coming to watch. Don't forget to go down there, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell for notifications. And, if you want to share this video, you can. But, obviously we've had some technical difficulties. I appreciate you guys watching. Have a good one.